truly hate horses. And don't hate me for that. And there's reasons why I hate horses. Specifically, one is trauma as a child. Right? I had some bad experience with these horses. Don't judge, because I know there's those of you in the room that absolutely love horses. We're in Alberta. Horses are everywhere. So don't judge right away, though. Let me get through what I'm going to say, and maybe we'll see if I can help you understand. And maybe my opinion and attitude about them might change just a little bit, just a tad. So let's start with childhood. My first experience with a horse was being thrown as a child from it, hitting the ground, rolling and turning, and having scrapes and grass embedded into my skin. It was terrifying. Started hating. The next was, for some reason, petting a horse, this beautiful horse, and for some strange reason, it went down and bit my thigh all the way up. It hurt. Scared. 2 times. Damn horses. I never bonded with them at all. So I took horses out of my life. We separated from each other and I avoided them like crazy. Even when driving, I'd go around a circle to stay away from them. Now, my honeymoon, married my beautiful wife, and she loves horses. So upon that, our honeymoon in Mexico, she wanted to go horseback riding so much. And it was already organized without even telling me. So it was a 1-hour trip. And we arrived at location and destination. And it was about to start. PTS was happening, heartbeat had risen, and I was going to have to go horseback riding. Interesting thing about that, it's the same way they pick horseback riders. It started with the person who knew the most, down to the person who knew the least. And the person who was in the front of the line was my wife, and I asked her, how do you like horses? She was, I love horses. They're the best. I have a vital experience with horses. They're my favorite. So the line started with Leslie. And she got a beautiful horse. It was black and beautiful, and I'm pretty sure it came up and it reared up and came down, and it went down like it was Lord of the Rings, and she jumped on top of the horse and off she went. I'm pretty sure I didn't see her for another 3 hours. And we'll get to that part in a second. Went down the line and came to me. I had my hands in my pocket, and the guy asked me, and I said, I hate horses. I really do. I really wish they just left them for glue manufacturing. Because that's apparently what they do with horses. They make glue out of them. Sorry, they do. I was happy about that. So he looked at me and he said, okay, bring out Paco. Out came Paco. I don't think Paco was a horse. Paco was old and tired and didn't look like a horse. He was gray, and when I looked into Paco's eyes and Paco looked at my eyes, all I could see was, don't get on top of me. Don't ride me, please, stay away. But I had to. So I got my leg over, this is how I actually did it, by the way. I didn't have to, I put my leg right over top of Paco. And here we were, my feet were this far from the ground, and that was it. And then we lumped off. Now the rest of the group was gone. Within a half an hour, I was by myself with an individual who was trying to get Paco to move, and it went on forever. And I had this problem with the whole entire situation. I was pretty sure that all Paco wanted to do was eat, drink, have some hay, or possibly just die. Right there. And I imagined myself in the middle of Mexico doing CPR and doing breathing exercises to keep this horse alive. Didn't happen. This went on for quite some time, and eventually I asked the guy to stop whacking Paco, and I got off and I just pulled him all the way back to where we started. And when we arrived, my wife said, you've been gone for so long, where are you? By the way, she was drunk. Paco's back and he was alive. And they were possibly going to make glue out of him. I was hoping it was going to be a very light glue. Not a strong glue, and you guys will find that funny, I do. So moving on from that, that was my first experience with a horse that was kind of nice to me and depended on me, and it kind of made me feel good. Nevada. Last summer, my next trip and my next time with horses. Okay? My wife had set up this wonderful trip in Nevada to go out and ride horses again. It was an hour and a half of torture, beginning one more time. And the same thing happened. Who's the best rider, the person asked. Who loves horses? Once again, Leslie's up with her hand. I love horses. I love them so much. I have so much experience. So again, she got the most beautiful of horses. Incredible. It was a different type of horse, different colors. And the same thing happened. It reared up, came down, bent over, she got up. And then, funny about this horse, it pranced away, which I couldn't quite figure off out to the side, and again, my wife was gone. Okay, went down the line, came to me, and they said to me, how do you like horses? How good are you with them? You know what I said next. I said, I hate horses. I really do. I couldn't even say the glue joke anymore because it wasn't going anywhere. And they didn't like it when I said it, but I did say something about glue. And I have to understand that I was in Nevada. Nevada loves horses. And I had upset this person. I had really upset this person. So they were flipping through, trying to figure out what horse would be right for me. And then finally said, okay, bring out Slim. Out came Slim. Slim was massive. Slim was huge. I walked back looking around. They had to pick the biggest, meanest looking horse. I swear I was shaking. So finally I came up and I got on Slim, but I had to ask for the stool to get on top of this sucker. So I got right on top, and before I looked, actually, Slim's eyes said something different than Puck. But when I looked in Slim's eyes, it was, get on, shut up, and don't bother me. So I got on and off we went. And as we went, I watched all the horses and people part as Slim and I walked down. It was a sense of power. And as we moved along, we stopped once, and this woman came up to my wife's horse and petted. Oh, this is the best horse. She said, I love this horse. It's wonderful. Best horse around. And as we went through that, my wife asked, what type of horse is it? Oh, your horse is a full breed Mustang. Best horse around. As she scooted by me, I asked the same question. And she said, sir, we didn't give you a horse. We gave you a mule. She moved on, and as she moved, I said, well, if I have a mule, do I get a discount on price? She kept on moving, didn't answer, didn't reflect at all. The ride finished. We got off the horse. I asked the owner if the sign said live mule rides, would anybody show up? He didn't laugh, and I felt his hand pulling me. It was my wife taking me back to the car before I got into trouble. So how do I finish this? I'm going to ask all of you, how do I deal with the two different situations, being a child and adulthood? The experiences were a little bit different. When I was a child, I was hurt. And as an adult, I kind of survived and got through it. And this was fun. This was okay. I had Paco. I feel sorry for him. But he didn't kill me. He didn't hurt me. He needed my help. And I had Slim, and Slim was strong and powerful and didn't hurt me. I thought I was going to get killed in the desert with this thing. Seriously. Right? So there was Slim. And I think Slim and I bonded. I think, we had a bonding together, Slim and I. It was true. It was honest. So I think whenever I go horseback riding with Leslie's, because she's going to book it again, I'm going to ask for a very old horse, I think, or I'm going to ask for a mule, like Slim.